So tonight we have a few things going on. I'm actually going to be taking all this stuff here, and we're going to be making some molds for these characters that we sculpted. And let's see here if I can get this centered. Maybe like this. Okay. So my desk is kind of cluttered right now. I have a lot of stuff on here. We're going to be using some Rebound 25 silicone, which is a two-part silicone. And this is what we're going to use to make the molds. I've got some gloves. I have some fresh blades for my X-Acto knife because this one here is super dull. I'm going to take that out. I've also got some poster board. And this is what we're going to use for making our molds. This will probably be the base. Got a large piece of it here. And I've also got paper towels to clean up with. And okay, so also we're going to have, if Alba Garcia can get her password worked out with Skype, if she works that out, we'll be talking to her as well about her new Patreon page. So hopefully she can get that fixed. Also, I know a lot of people have been asking about our website. It's been down for about 6 days, which is about the longest it's ever been down. And unfortunately, the company that makes our social network, they're called the Jom Social. Well, the company is probably not called Jom Social. I forget what they're actually called, but then unfortunately, what they did is they did something incorrect with their latest update, and it caused the whole site to crash. And so unfortunately, I didn't know what was really wrong with the site, and I ran into two problems. One is that we ran out of not file space, but we had too many files on our server, unfortunately. And so I had to go in and delete files and everything, and it was a big pain in the butt trying to figure it out. And in fact, I don't know if I actually need to move to a new host or a new server, which would be more expensive. Actually, quite a lot more expensive, about 3 or 4 times as expensive. And so, if that happens, it's going to be really hard for me to afford it each month. So I'm not really sure what to do, but I think that the files, there's a problem where one of my other sites is causing a big jumble of files to appear and not get cleared from the server cache. And so that's part of the problem, I think. But anyway, it's all technical crazy stuff, which is really frustrating and not fun to talk about. So but anyways, hopefully we can get that fixed soon. I've talked to the company already, and I'm going to see what they can come up with in terms of a solution, which would be really great if they could. Because if they can't fix it, I really don't want to remove the social network part of the site. That would really stink, because everybody uses it, and it's kind of a lot of fun to post stuff on there. Everybody shares their pictures and videos and stuff. So I really don't want to have to do that, but we're gonna have to wait it out and see what happens, I guess. It's really it's up to those people that are helping, and anyway, so keep your fingers crossed. Welcome to the show, Joy and Janet. Hopefully you guys are having a good week. All right, so like I said, we're going to work on some molds for these. Now, this is the mother character, and so I'm going to pop her head off here, her face. And let's see if I can move this a bit. So as you guys know already, these characters are fairly flat. And what I want to do with them is I want to animate these by using replacements. And in order to do that, each replacement face has to line up with all the features had to line up, with the change of each expression. So if I were to just sculpt another face, a longer version of this, it probably wouldn't look so nice when it's animated. I mean, the face features would kind of jump around and everything. So it's just a way to kind of register all these detailed points on her mouth and cheeks and everything, and especially the eyes. And you want the eyes to line up between expression changes. And she's going to have a lot of squash and stretch. She's going to have a lot of surprised looks and things like that. So this will really, making a mold of it and casting it in clay will really help to line things up for animation purposes. We've also got the baby, and we've got the king and the second mother as well. Hey, Dominica and Randy. Ah, okay, you gotta go to class already? Well, good luck, Marble. So how's it going, Randy? What's new out there? All right. So I don't think Alba is having any luck, unfortunately. But if not, that's okay. We can always have her on another day. She can't get Skype fixed. It's kind of sad though. I was looking forward to it. So let's see. So Janet says, I searched one song from TV series, but I can't find it. That's always frustrating, especially if you can't remember the name of a song when you want to find it. It's always like, how does it go again? What are the lyrics? Okay, so the baby, and I want to actually take these baby faces here, and I'm going to take his arms off. I think I should cast his body as well for this baby. Now, the question is, should I mold it now, or should I sculpt more bodies and mold them together? So that's kind of the question. Let's see, do I have any blue clay around here? Look. Well, actually, you know what? I think I will mold this. That way, what I can do with this body is, and actually, even though I've only got one head for each one of these, when I make a mold and cast these, I can just cut off the side piece here and move it on the other side for a left side view. And for the face, I can get the same volume of clay for the other, when he looks the other way. So getting the volumes is really going to be what I want to do with this for now. And the king only looks in one direction, so I can cast his face, or mold his face. And one mold is all I need for him. But for these, I'll probably, after I cast these in clay, I'll resculpt them and, looking to the left and looking to the right. And it's going to really help to have these things cast. So, let's see. So Randy says, hi Mark, I've started shooting a new short film using stop motion shadow puppets. It has been interesting and fun so far. Cool. Shadow puppets. So kind of like a silhouette performance of sorts. Enjoys asking, are you doing this project for a client or just a personal project? And it's just personal. It's just for fun. And I mean, if you want to consider, what I'm doing here with you guys a business, I mean, you could call it that if you want, but it's really just, I'm just sharing what I'm doing and having fun. So I'm going to move all these to the side. And so what's next? So what I want to do is I want to make a box around all of these characters, all their parts. And trying to think, might be able to just make one mold of all of these, and that would probably save on silicone a bit. So I think if I rearrange these in just the right way, that would probably be a good way to put it, like this. That way I can just pour in some orange in here, and some pastel yellow in there and there. And of course pastel blue for the baby. I think that would be okay. And Randy says, this one's just for me. Oh, okay. Were you asking me or Joy or Randy? But if you were asking Randy, he says, this one's just for me. Finished the script and music a year ago, but had to wait to shoot. Cool. So you've really had this in your mind to do for a long time, huh? But I know you've been working on stuff for clients, so I know it's hard sometimes to do stuff for yourself. I'm kind of using my live show as an excuse to do my own project because I'm always busy. Especially, man, just lately it's been crazy. Okay, so let me see here. So I need to make a wall around all of these, and it has to be... Let's see, where's my pencil? Somewhere around this tall. Doesn't have to be too tall. So, going to use a straight edge. Like this. Actually, the width of this ruler is exactly the width it needs to be, so draw a line. Actually, you know, I'm just going to cut it with this. I don't really need to draw a line, I just need to cut it. Hopefully I do not slice my hand off in the process. Okay, I think Alba's trying to talk to me here, so let me quickly cut this. See if she's there, which would be really cool. So 1 second, Alba. Just slice this off. Oop. Okay, let me check. Ah, okay. I'm gonna try calling Alba. I think that she might have been hacked or something. Ah, yeah. It seems like Alba's telling me that all the info on Skype disappeared and they recovered her account, but it's empty of contacts. So I think she might have been hacked. Something's definitely not right there. Okay. Well, darn. It's not good. Okay. There's Alba. She's in the chat. Man, technology is great, but it's always frustrating when it fails. Just like with my website failing late, you know, within the past week. It's never fun. Okay, she says she's on Skype, so that's great. We'll see if we shall see if it works. I'm already her friend. She said she sent a request, but let's see here. Okay. Um, accept. Okay. All right. I hope this works. Now I'm probably gonna have to make my screen for this smaller. All right. Okay, let's see if it works. Hey, Alba. Ah, okay. So my camera's not gonna work, unfortunately, because I'm using it for my broadcast, I guess. And I don't hear your voice. I think perhaps maybe your mic is muted, or maybe let me see if I got something here. Okay, it says that everything is okay for me, I think. Let me make sure. Okay, Skype. Let's see, Julio. There you are. Your video is working. Unfortunately, I don't hear you. Let me check Skype here. Ooh, what's going on here? Okay. So Joy is saying that he's subscribed to your YouTube channel, which is pretty nice. Let's see. Okay. Oop. Nope, my microphone wasn't muted. Let me do something real quick. Tools, options. Let me make sure that my microphone is working. Sounds, audio settings. Yep, I see. I can see when I speak that on that Skype is it's seeing my microphone, and it's working here. Okay, maybe it's this. Hold on. I think I got it. I think I know what it is. All right, let me see. I think I hear you.
You can hear me!
Yep. It worked.
Awesome! So we can start.
Yes. Okay. Finally.
Hello, everybody. Hello?
So welcome to the show. Yes.
I cannot hear you now.
Oh no. Okay. Let me do something. Let me do something. Audio settings. Microphone is.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Finally.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to our live broadcast.
Woo!
Okay, I'm gonna move some stuff around here so people can see you better. Let me do this, edit scene, and make that a bit smaller. Move the chat off there. Yeah, I got kind of a lot of stuff on my screen, but there we go. Okay. All right, so of course we've talked a little bit about the fact that you have a new Patreon account, which is pretty cool.
Yes, okay. That's going well. I have 3 people so far, but hey, this is the first day, so it's okay.
All right, very cool. First day and 3 people. That's actually really good.
Yeah, it's not the same thing as a Kickstarter. A Kickstarter, you have 30 days and you have to do a lot of prep work for the launching date. In this time, I'm learning as I go. So basically, some people, they are working and all that, so they will little by little get to the Patreon, and I probably have to educate the community on what is Patreon and how to do help support our page and stuff like that,
Sure.
which is necessary, and that's something, it's a learning process.
Yeah, I mean, you just started it up yesterday, right?
Yes.
So that's really amazing. And but I mean, you've been kind of working on it for about maybe a week and a half or something, I guess.
I've been looking forward and researching for probably about 2 months, but it was not until a week and a half that I decided to do it, and that's what I'm where I'm at right now. So it's like Amanda Palmer. I follow her a lot, and she has the same learning curve as well. It's a different format, but is as long I'm gonna give myself a year to see how the audience and how the people who support our work, our art, react to this format. So it's a learning process for the audience as well as mine.
I see. Yeah, absolutely. And I know that you've been kind of thinking in your mind lately that it's kind of hard to make it in stop motion like the way maybe you wanted to for a while, and you kind of were expressing that on your Facebook page. So I mean, what were you? So what? Obviously, it's kind of a letdown in some ways, right? Because you wanted to maybe work for a big studio and like maybe Guillermo del Toro or somebody.
So what happened is, we already have Time Space Reflections, which was literally our first production, professional production, because before that I had my thesis film.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that gave us a lot of footing on the industry. People now know us. I mean, every time I post something on LinkedIn, the most views I get are Arman and Leica people and
Yeah.
Sony DreamWorks. And to the fact that the companies are looking at our work is very flattered.
Absolutely.
And that's good. Do I want to work there? Absolutely. The thing is, that with the new administration and all this politics and stuff, I feel that my job is not very secure, and
Yeah.
it's the same feeling throughout America. It's not only me, it's everybody's afraid about what's going on and what's going to happen to our security and our job. So I
Yeah.
was
Well, I
thinking,
mean, but you should. If people don't know already, you work for the government,
yeah, yeah.
and I know they
Uh,
have like a lot of hiring freezes, federal employee hiring freezes, and things like that right now, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, no job is secure nowadays. No, none of them. This is quite good, but I just would like something more in the creative side of ways, because I'm 40, I'm 42, and I really want to dedicate the rest of what I have left,
Yeah.
the next 50 years, to dedicate it to my craft and
Sure.
to make stories and to have a company and to have people, artists in house, just like Armin, just like Laika, is my dream. Now,
Right.
the way I'm looking for Patreon is to gather the footing to finish Dangerously Ever After, to finish and to start the pre-production or the pitch, the first, let's say, minute of animation, just a teaser to pitch my feature film.
Okay. That's cool. So you're thinking of pitching it to some place like Leica?
Well, I pitched the story to Annecy. They, from 300 feature films, they got only 20 something, and mine didn't make the cut. I
Oh.
also went to an European. It's kind of like a Pixar, but in Norway. And I talked to the producers and everything, and they said they already are in another project. They cannot make my production. So that that have to be, so that another rejection. But um, I have a studio in Burbank that are willing and is feasible to make the feature film in Burbank.
Okay.
So, I'm working, honey. I'm not gonna talk about who is the company yet, but the owner worked in Star Wars. He did the miniatures for the Matrix, and he worked in the Nightmare Before Christmas and in Coraline. He's a well-known stop motion person as well.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I won't say, but I know who you're talking about. That's
So
awesome. That's really cool. He's a good guy. He's a really nice person.
he's a sweetheart, and the thing is, he's kind of like a mentor to me, and he's actually telling me you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to do that. So he's coaching, and I'm doing the best I can. For example, one of the things that he mentioned was try to make the storyboard, try to make the design for the fashion. So I already almost finished in the fashion design. I actually drew all the fashion design per character, per sequence, from start to finish of the film, some of the monsters and titans that we're going to have for the feature, because it's an action adventure, and is I cannot talk about it, but it's an exciting thing. And he said that it was very bold and very adventurous, the story that I'm telling, and I'm following his suggestions. I also have people in my friends in Mexico that also would like to take on the project. So right now there are two options. Right now I prefer to go for the Burbank one because is I like the studio, I like the facilities, and my friend is really amazing. So I will say I will go for the Burbank studio also.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think. I mean, I think he knows what he's doing, and he's had stop motion experience, and I know he's got a nice new space that he for
Yeah,
building things like robots and stuff.
that thing is humongous. That studio is just it's a dream. It's a dream. I mean, if we can do it there, it would be amazing. And we can have you also working with us, maybe. If you want.
Well, we'll see about that. We'll see.
Oh,
I kind of got this project that I'm working on, which is
that's right.
not
That's
as
right.
big, but still.
No, no, but I always, if I have, I always come to you to for advice and for mentorship as well. And you're amazing, and I appreciate
Well, thanks.
all the time that you take to guide me through this process, because it's not easy.
Well, thanks. I mean, but you're super talented, so I don't really want to take any much credit at all, but I appreciate it.
Ah. Well, and oh, they have a Janet and stamp motion films. I heard of that, of stamp motion films that you.
Yeah, that's Joy Stamp.
Okay, okay. I think, is she on Twitter?
He is on
Oh,
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, pretty much everything.
good. Yeah, yeah, because all these names are catchy, and you actually get to know the little companies that are rising up.
Yeah, he's just starting out. He's been moving around, and I guess like his parents divorced, kind of a thing, and so he was in limbo for a while, and he's trying to set up like a little studio space and work on some films and get some jobs, and so yeah, it's really kind of like everybody else that in stop motion in a way.
Yes, I mean, this is not for the faint of heart. That's for.
No.
And talking about not for the faint of heart, one of the things that I encounter every time I meet filmmakers, male or female or intersex or transgender or from any community,
Right.
is is the feeling of hopelessness and depression. And that's something we need to tackle, because the last time I was in a depression as an artist, it took me 8 years to get rid of that. I didn't think that I didn't consider myself an artist. And it was so much that took 8 years to get out of that depression. Now I promised myself not to have that anymore. And the way my brain deals with it is like, I love to dance and I love to engage, being present with other people, and just, so I want to tackle that on my Patreon as well. It's not only to just showcase my artwork or do tutorials or showing videos of how we animate and the things that we're doing, but
Mm-hmm.
also to be a support group for artists like me and you, and that they don't know how to handle depression, and we cannot afford not snap out of that process, because it's part of it. You have to own it, you have to embrace it, and it sucks, but you have to get out of it. And the way I do it is by dancing.
Yeah.
And hey, if that can help others, like, I would love to do small things, performance, so we can all get into the groove and we can all help each other, basically. But you have to embrace who you are, and you have to help others, and others at the same time help you. The other day I was depressed because, oh my goodness, yes, I tried to apply for a job at a big company, and I didn't get a call back. So a lady friend of mine, she said, Alba, don't feel, uh, you know whatever you're doing is working. You inspired me to move to New Zealand from London to start my career as a stop motion artist. And she is moving to New Zealand. This is a big step for her.
Wow.
And if
Cool.
I could make ripples in other people's lives, it makes my sense of purpose also the much better. I feel much better with myself, and also inspires me to continue.
Well, that's pretty nice. So yeah, I think a lot of artists do kind of go through that. Um, I mean, most artists, our minds are different than most other people in that we're sensitive to a lot of, what's around us, and we see things different, like in terms of yeah, just more sensitivity overall, really. I mean, it's kind of like everything is amplified for a lot of us, and you can see things in shapes and in colors that most people don't see, which is kind of like why we're really artists. You get a certain kind of emotional response to what you're seeing in your environment that's heightened. And so most artists do have like a heightened sort of sense of the world around them. And so if there's bad times, those things can be heightened, and good times are heightened as well. And so it's pretty common, I think. And so that's it would be nice if you could work that into your what you're doing. I think
I also talked to some of the patrons about it, one in particular, and he said that will help so many people, because we tend to feel that we are alone, because yes, this is our world. We are living in it. We wake up, we go to the bathroom, we try to, okay, we have to go to work, and we have to prepare breakfast and all of that. That's life.
yeah.
And life, you have to, sometimes I want to create, but I have to do laundry. Oh, I want to create, but I have to cook for my family. I want to create, but I have to mop the floor. So it really takes you down, and the moment of inspiration can kind of goes away. So
Right.
you can understand that, because you also have a family.
Yes. And like today, I felt so frustrated because I had a broken website. I'm trying to fix the website, and I have work to do, and creative work. I have a sculpture I'm working on for somebody, and I have a son, and I feel like I'm kind of abandoning him every time I had to sit down and do stuff, and so I know exactly how you feel. I mean,
It is not nice. And then you also do CGI work as well.
yeah, I mean, not really CGI animation or anything, just sculpting.
No, but sculpting.
Yeah, and then I turned that into real physical 3D, stuff to make molds of. So that's what I'm working on now for work, and also my website, and it's like I'm the jack of all trades, I guess.
Wow. I mean, yeah, yeah. You know, we can do so many things, Mark. And sometimes that was my worry last week when I got a little bit depressed was Julio and I can do so much, and we don't get hired by big companies.
Yeah, and it's like you have the abilities to do it.
Yes, and we have the years of experience, and we have the awards and stuff, and you are at the point like, is this worth it? Literally, that's sometimes you think about it. You think about these things, and then afterwards you sleep it over, and then you say, okay, yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's just that there was a moment that I was depressed, and again, so many artists just leave. They don't want to work again for weeks, and that's not good. And that's why for me it's important. Even if I do, let's say, a Zumba class for filmmakers, that will help them. I
Yeah.
mean, who doesn't like to dance? Well, some people have two left feet or something, but yeah, who doesn't like to just at least go and just enjoy good music and dance or laugh with other people, making bloopers, for example, and laugh. And if you can make another person's day and making them smile, that might spark a little bit of, some inspiration, some happiness. I don't know. It happens to
Yeah.
me. I don't know. Everybody have to learn how to deal with their depression, but it's something real, especially in artists.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that would be awesome. And so, um, and also, your personality is very kind of bubbly, and I mean, you always. I know you're inside. Sometimes you feel depressed, and I can tell, like by your Facebook posts, that you're really uh, sad about your current situation. But I mean, at least when you're talking to other people and everything, you seem to come alive, and I think people will really enjoy watching you do what you do because you're entertaining. Not unlike me, I'm kind of boring.
You know, Mark, I love I love helping others, and sometimes if a post that I'm doing of, hey, today we did this, we have a big setback in the month of April.
Yeah.
uh the rig got damaged, not damaged, but the motor were not working. um the
Excuse me.
character, I mean, it was bad. I mean, we have, oh my gosh, we did a 11-second take that got destroyed.
Oh
But
man.
11-second take, and Julio kicked it at the end, kicked the tripod,
Oh no.
and it was a take that was including a motion of the camera,
uh,
and we didn't back up the whole motion camera before the actual take.
oh man.
So believe me, and Julio finally got it done. La- like 2 weeks ago, and then last week he did a small, a 4-second clip. Tomorrow he will be doing a close up of the noses. So also, we lost one our animator, so it's only Julio and I animating now.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a little hard for us. And Janet is not easy. She's saying that sometimes she feels afraid she may not be a good artist or storyteller. You know what? When I'm doing this film, nothing is perfect, okay? I have expectations, And the take is sometimes is it surprises me. A take can be amazing and nothing that I expected before, or it, you do what you can. You do what you can, and whatever comes up, that's it. You cannot expect to be perfect because you're never gonna be perfect. You do the best you can at the moment with the equipment you have, and don't measure yourself by other people's standards. As I'm telling that to Janet because she needs to learn that just do what you can and be positive about it and practice, practice, practice. That's it. Practice make the difference.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah, Janet. Janet comes here every single week, and I think she's kind of she wants to get into stop motion, but she like she said, she doesn't feel like she's very worthy of it, I guess, or isn't skilled enough. But it's really you just gotta kind of do it, right? You just gotta kind of get into it and learn as you go.
We have to. And the thing is, an art school is not gonna tell you this. When you finish art school, they throw you to the sharks. They throw you to the ocean, and that's it. And something that I had to tell Janet when I graduated from School of Visual Arts in 2000, I have DreamWorks, I have Disney, I have Pixar, and Armin interviewing me. They only picked three people, three of the best students that did the best thesis at that time. And they all wanted to have a one-to-one conversation with me. And what they said, I love your work. You're so talented. We cannot hire you because we don't do stop motion, but continue to do the great job you're doing. So you spend 4.5 years of your life creating art, creating animation, thinking that you're gonna get a breakthrough in one of these companies. Finally, you think you're gonna get it because they took you for a one-on-one meeting and they said to you, no, we cannot have you.
Yeah, that's a letdown. That's really.
That's what got me 8 years of depression, Mark.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because really, and at that time, Julio and I, we just out of college. We have no place to go, no apartment, nothing.
Yeah.
And we had to live in a basement of a friend of mine for 3 months or something.
Hmm. Wow. Okay.
Yes, all my family was in Puerto Rico. Some of my friends in art school ended up being in construction work. So, and then I got a job at Celebrity Deathmatch, but then canceled. So it's not easy. It's really not easy, and that's why I got into a depression.
Yeah. Well, I have, I think that there's some rumors now that Leica maybe, I don't want to say shutting down, but they're definitely. Have you heard about Travis Knight? What he's gonna do?
Yeah, Transformers. Yeah.
Yeah, some
What
people
happened?
speculate that they might close down. I don't know if that's true or not.
What?
Yeah, that's what some people are saying. They are. Some people say that they're getting information from people that work there that they might close down, which I think would be horrible.
I mean, when the last time I talked to Travis, he said, "Alba, never give up. Never give up. I have your little face in my office. Never give up. Never. I'm not gonna give up because this is what I do. This is what I like to do.
Yeah.
So wow, oh my goodness,
I
that's
hope
not.
it's. I hope it doesn't come to be. I really do. Uh,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
the I always see you're kind of similar to me in that you wanted to get a job in a big studio, and when I was starting out, I wanted to work for Will Vinton. And on his claymation stuff.
Wow.
And he was sort of my hero. And they shifted from clay animation to they did like the M&Ms
Yes,
TV commercials and stuff.
yes.
So they were doing CG. They also were doing more foam latex and everything, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But then, of course, the financial aspects of the studio, like the political stuff. Travis took over, and they tried to save it, or they did save it technically, but they transformed it. And so I always wanted to work for Will, and then some of the people that worked there were telling me stories like, it's negative stories about Will Vinton, and just the reality of everything in that time period. I was really mad, like, how could they just kick Will Vinton out of his own studio? And so, I didn't really care for Travis very much for a while. And of course, he seems like a good guy and stuff, but I really,
Yeah.
they like took all the clay. They had like a vault of clay animation characters from the whole history of Will Vinton Studios, and they had it up in the attic, and it had hundreds of puppets and sculptures from their first work. And
Wow.
according to what I understand, they threw it all away. You know, so I was really kind of not very happy about that, because that was like my dream. When I was starting out, and the reality was pretty harsh. Um, and then I worked for, like, you worked for on Celebrity Deathmatch for a while, and I worked for Gentleman Films for a while as well, on his projects. And it's freelance is very touch and go, and
Mhm.
there's no steady work, unless you are a producer or a director that has a lot of years of experience. um, I mean, if you're just an artist or an animator, it's very difficult to get hired and stay on a project for more than, like, 8 months to a year, sometimes 6 months, sometimes 3 months. And that's really the truth about it. Um, and so that's kind of like why I started my own website many years back. I just figured there's no security in the way things were. Um, and you kind of had to look for other avenues of making money. Like, for example, the only reason I'm able to do this kind of stuff I'm doing here with molds and everything is because I have my own business, and uh, it's kind of like it pays for my ability to get clay and all that kind of stuff. But if I were freelance, I'd probably be um, working in different cities all the time. You can't settle down and, like, actually have your own garage space, because sometimes your job will take you to another state. So you got to
Yeah.
pack up and leave, and take everything with you. You can't have a cat, or a dog if you want one. Things like that. It's just, you kind of have to be a loner. You kind of have to be. Uh, you kind of want to be, like, you have to have the desire to be alone. I think, in some sense, because they're like divorces. Believe it or not, the divorce rate is very very high for animators and for uh, artists in Hollywood. It's
Mhm.
extremely common. Um, that is just really the truth, unfortunately. So
No.
that's why I kind of encouraged you when you were saying you were thinking of maybe a Patreon account. I was like, I better tell Alba that's a good idea, because I think that would be really great if it's a success for you. I mean, you would kind of not have to worry as much, if it is, in terms of security and being creative, and, like, you want to help people, and you want to express that, and do that as part of your life, and some,
Yes. I when I love, it's very hard, Mark, to post a rejection letter. Because people need to know that it's not easy receiving them, and how often I receive them. Today I received another rejection letter from a festival.
ah,
So if students, for example, that are graduating from college right now, don't get to see me receiving a rejection letter with glee and happiness because I got to a moment in time that is just a rejection letter. But I have other things. I have an official selection in another place. I won some awards. So it balances it up. But you have to see somebody getting rejection letters and somebody that maybe you admire. You have to see that this is a struggle and it's ongoing and it's every day.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is you can't really doubt yourself because it's obvious you guys have the skill. Um, and another thing is sometimes when you have a lot of skill, it almost works against you because people think that you're going to want to get a lot more money for your what you're producing. Um, I'm not talking about short films, but like getting hired in a studio. Uh, so you know, I don't know if I mixed this up well enough here. I didn't. Got
Yeah,
some
because
streak.
you're talking to me.
I got distracted.
I'm distracting you. God, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. You're fine. Now it'll still work. It's good silicone. It's forgiving silicone. I know that much. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you're definitely talented, and I think that anybody that sees what you're doing is can see that. And you don't really need approval by a director or a studio or a film festival to know that you're definitely good at what you do. So
I was thinking after Dangerously Ever After, I was thinking if I have to do my feature film at home, like I'm doing Dangerously, you know what?
yeah.
What? It will be the first feature film done in a basement. And
Perhaps. Yeah, I think so.
and I have given it a lot of thought. The thing is it my house? Yes, it's probably gonna take 10 years, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I think it will get investors. That I will think it will get.
Well, Alba, if you had enough Patreon supporters, I think you could probably do it. I mean, uh, you might not make $1 million, but you might get enough to survive and get food on the table so that you can do it. You don't really
You
need $1 million to make a film.
I was thinking if we can get it down in Burbank, even if I have to travel to Burbank to make the film,
Yeah.
I will do it. And then after the feature film, I will just focus on, or I was thinking do it in live action and do the Titans in stop motion. But I don't know. I really have no idea what I'm gonna do.
Well, there's a lot of options, and you're really good at making, like puppets that are clothed. I know you've got a lot of skill in making clothing and padding things, and kind of like the Dark Crystal characters. I know that you're really good at that. So that might be an option
Yeah,
if
I
you
still
think you need
love
to.
stop motion. It's just I just it's so many options. And, talking about that, and I see Ray Harryhausen right here. I have the whole full collection, and I'm like,
Cool.
oh, I don't know. I really love the idea of puppetry, done like half stop motion and half live action. I don't know. I don't know. I just would like to do something different for a change.
Yeah. Well, why not? If you can, and like this particular project I'm doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the reason why I'm doing it in the 2D sort of style, like I don't know if you've seen any of these, but these are,
Yeah.
you know, like I sketched it and then I make them sort of flat, and I'll animate it on glass. Um,
Wow.
and the reason why is it's really a fast way to animate. There's no rigs to remove or anything like that. It's quick, and you can tell a story that way, and it's kind of fun. So it's not really how I would normally want to do a film. Like I'd want to make a, James and the Giant Peach puppet, like make it out of foam and make it really nice. But the story itself, I think, is the important part, and still,
Oh, that's so lovely.
yeah. So I mean, it doesn't have to always be like a Ray Harryhausen feature to make something fun and something people enjoy. You can do puppets and.
Really, I love these puppets.
So yeah,
It's
that's
kind of like how do you? Oh, I see. So how you gonna do the backgrounds?
all clay
Wow,
backgrounds. Yep, I've already got a lot of them done too, and it takes no time to do it. I mean, it takes some time, but
it looks like a picture book.
yeah. Well, it's actually laying on the design that I drew in Krita, like the paint program. So what I did is I drew it in the paint program, and
Mm-hmm.
then printed it out the size that I want to sculpt it. So I have like this is the king character, and then I just put the clay on there and just shape it and come up with this, and texture it, and I don't know if you can really see it very well,
I
but
love it. No, it's so cute.
it's really basic. But you can use squash and stretch and use the replacements and make it really lively, kind of like a Disney film, 2-dimensional kind of film. So it's kind of along those lines, but
So
it's
cute.
and it's fast.
Janet just said something.
Yeah.
Janet, she said, "I'm afraid of one more thing, that I am already too old. I'm 22. Janet, I'm 42.
22. Yeah, that's young.
Janet, really, I think when you are in, like, let's say in high school, 22 might seem like a 42. Okay, I'm 42. I'm gonna be teaching Zumba classes, and I am a mother, and I work full time, and I'm making films in my basement, and I travel the world. I'm 22. I'm 22 by heart, okay, but I'm 42, and I am working it. 22.
Yep.
You have 20 more years younger than I am to create films, and you don't have I don't know if you have a child or a family, but if you don't have it, you have more time in your hands than I do. And I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to work. So Janet, no, you're not old. And two, I want to stop motion the day I die, or stop creating anything, a picture, a painting, a sculpture, when I die. That's the moment I'm going to stop.
Yep, that's 22 is really young, and I mean, you don't really if you set your standards too high for yourself when you're just starting out, you'll just be frustrated. It takes time to get the skills and the experience to really make things and be good at it. And I don't know about you, Alba, but at least with me, I'm never totally satisfied with my work. It's like always a work in progress. Uh, so like for Janet, I don't think that she should really be so hard on herself. I think that.
No, no. That, like I said, is it happened to me too when I was 25, that I'm too old. And that was a real fear. That was a real fear. When I was 25, I felt, I didn't make the cut at Armin. I didn't make the cut at DreamWorks or Disney. I'm too old. I'm done. That was a mistake, and that's how my 8-year depression started. Don't let that happen to you. I'm sorry. I just wanted to have like the tough love.
Sometimes people need that, though. I guess.
I needed somebody to tell me that at 25. I needed somebody to tell me, and I didn't have a mentor. And somehow being here and listening to Janet and her worries is important. Like, I'm happy that I'm here today, even though I'm exhausted because my daughter's birthday is this Saturday. I have a Zumba instructor certification on Friday, 10 hours of learning to pass a license to teach Zumba. So, believe me, I have a lot in my plate.
Definitely.
So, again, and also when I teach Zumba and when I start when teaching Zumba and everything, I'm gonna dress up like a teenager because hello, is you have to love what you do. You have to love dancing. You have to love and smile and make sure people are engaged in the party of the class. And that's why today I also took a safe thing too. I took a certification today for CPR. So if somebody passes out in my Zumba class, I can revive that person to continue Zumba. But it's like boom, 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 boom. But then okay, you're ready for more Zumba? Get on. But no, I took that step, and it's important. I feel like like I have a new power, like I'm a superhero that I can save people. Today after the class, I was running around looking for people to save, literally in the floor. And no, really, when you go to a class, a CPR class, you feel like you can save everybody. And it's such a sense of empowerment that you can save a child or an infant or an adult that cannot breathe or their heart stop.
Right.
And that is an information everybody should get because it can happen to you, it can happen to your family member, your son, your wife, or anybody in your family or friend. And you don't want. I have a friend that the parent passed away. He didn't know CPR and things like that. Hey, it
All
happens.
right.
You never think, oh, learning this skill will help me someday. But yes, it will help you.
Yeah.
Okay. People who I have friends that also have epileptic seizures. You want to help them, and that's what I took from the class today. I feel afraid that nobody could save me if something happens to me because not a lot of people know CPR or how to use an AED machine. So people, if you are an artist, this is something you want to put in your resume as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I learned CPR in high school, I think it's different today because I learned, you clear the airway, you tilt the head back, you pinch the nose and breathe into their mouth. Now they're saying that you don't even need to do that you can just like do chest
Yes.
compressions.
Chest compressions, and also you don't need to do the breathing thingy. Only for children and infants.
Oh, okay.
Why? Because children and infants, their problem is not a cardiac arrest. The problem is a breathing problem.
Yeah.
Or yeah, it's like a breathing problem. A young man was in one of those, practicing with a ball in this ball. It's like a baseball practice place.
Yeah.
And he did the thing, and the ball came back and hit his heart and stopped it.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
So it's either for injury or breathing problems, and for them you can do mouth to mouth to children and to adults. You don't have to do mouth to mouth,
Yeah.
but you can have they have this thing that looks like a mask, and you have like a plastic cushion around,
Yeah.
and you can just put and has like a little thing, a little blue thing coming up, and then
Uh-huh.
you put it in the mouth, and then you breathe, you blow through that, and you don't have to touch the person's mouth.
I see.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
So very interesting things that I learned today. Things that everybody should. I think there's a state, I think is Washington State, that 60% of the people know how to do CPR, and it's because it's required in high school to learn
Yeah,
CPR.
that's really good. That's really awesome, actually. I don't think that was required in my high school, but I know they taught it there and I learned it. They had one of those dummies you breathe in the mouth and the whole nine
Yes,
yards, you know.
I did that today, and really, I will tell you something. I never thought that how hard you have to really push to make 2 inches or 3 inches to save a life, and how it's like workout. It's a freaking workout.
Yep, it is. Yep, it's very hard.
So
My
basically, you have to learn it. I mean, my daughter, as soon as she's strong enough to do it, I'm gonna pay a class for her, and I'm probably gonna pay a class for my husband to do it too, because you never know if something happens to me. He knows the basic,
yeah,
okay, but but it would be great that he, we cannot own at the probably yes, it's like $800 on Amazon, the machine to to shock the heart.
oh yeah, the defibrillator.
Defibrillator,
Yeah.
AED. So basically, I've been working on this job for 15 years. 2 weeks ago, he brought the first AED machine.
Oh yeah.
Yes, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Janet. Okay, Janet said that when she was a teenager, she had a lot of hospital related adventures. So I know a lot of medical related stuff, but this is too long story. Hey, it's part of life. So now you're 22 and you're healthy.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, I thought, why am I taking this CPR class? Of course, it's a Zumba instructor requirement. If somebody passes out in my class, I need to know how to help her or him until the ambulance and the EMS comes. But really, it's something that everybody should know, especially high schoolers, because you never know. You never know when you're partying and one of your friends, passes out.
Yep. It happens.
hmm I think I'm gonna go to sleep because I really need to sleep.
Sure. Well, it's really been fun talking to you, and I'm almost done here anyway. So almost done with this mold. But
And I
yeah.
just encourage everybody, if you want to help support our patron,
Yes.
we want to, first of all, we're gonna probably have tutorials of me probably sculpting or showing how we animate, and probably, of course, if I do the Zumba videos, you can probably get some time to, if you like to work out, that would be another option to help you out in
Yep.
your
That's cool.
journey as an artist, because it's not easy, and you can learn from what we do. I'm gonna give surprises too. I like to do profile pictures of people, and design, drawing designs and stuff. So you're gonna get it's kind of like a school. It's a school. You're learning by looking at another person, another artist's life, and you can ask the art. You can ask me questions. Me or my husband can help you in your adventure as an artist, but you will not be alone. We are here, and we are here to help each other.
That's really nice. And so, if anybody's interested to see her Patreon page, it's in the description of the video you're watching right now. So just look below, and you can find it there.
Also, it's $1. What is $1 a month, or of $3 or $5, whatever you can chip, is worth it. It's worth it. You gonna get a chance to talk to me, and I only gonna post everything first on Patreon. So my patrons get the first news, usually, all the time, from now on.
Cool. Yep. Exclusive.
Exclusive. Whee!
That's awesome. Well, yeah. If ever you want to come back on and
Yes.
discuss, anything else, just let me know, and it would be fun. It's always fun talking to you.
Yeah, baby, we're gonna do it. It's just it's gonna take time, but it's gonna happen. Dangerously Ever After have right now about 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Uh, I was thinking 13, but I think if I can do 10, it will be enough.
Yeah, to tell your story.
Because I wanted to add a new character, kind of like a comedy gag person. But
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know what? No, I'm gonna focus just on the story because that's the money I had for, especially for these characters. And the light bulbs. Let me tell you, the light bulbs is a lot of money. They go off. We have inkies, so they go
Oh,
off
yep.
really quickly. Some of them are the LEDs, but not all of them. To make the sun have to be more powerful. So that's why we have inkies.
Yep, you kind of
And
have
like,
to.
yes, and it's like $25 a bulb. So
Now, let me tell you something. If you want to save money, they have these small halogen lamps in Home Depot and Lowe's. Lowe's, I don't know if you have a Lowe's there in New York. It's like a home improvement place where you can get
yes,
lumber and
we have it. We have it.
you do okay. Uh, Sometimes they have the small size of those, the
Are they
halogens.
flicker free?
Huh?
Are they flicker free?
They would be. Yeah, there's no flicker. Halogen is the same as an Inky bulb. That's a halogen bulb.
Okay, go. Okay.
But the bulbs are a little bit cheaper for these because they're like mass produced for work lights. And the ones that I've bought were about $15 for the lamp, and the bulbs are a lot cheaper than Inky bulbs because Inky bulbs are kind of rare. You got to get them through like do you use Hollywood lights or to buy those?
We go to B&H, and our cinematographer. He gets it. Thank goodness for Adam. I have to give Adam his right shirt is our. He does all the lighting, and
Yeah.
he's a miracle. He's such a great guy to work with. Very talented, very thorough, and Ike is family to me. And also, I have to give heads up to Colin Wynn, our VFX person, which is right now tracking the faces and adding the lighting and the 3D face,
Mm-hmm.
the takes we are doing. And I know it's a heck of a lot of work, but those are the people, that we have. And Patreon will probably, help to at least give them something. I mean, for gasoline and stuff, because they come here for free, and I want to give them something. You know,
Sure.
I just don't have the money for it. And if I can give them 100 here, 100 there, I mean something, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's only the first day of your Patreon page, so you got a long ways to go still. So,
Yes,
uh,
I think people little by little are gonna get into the groove of it.
yeah, absolutely. And the more content you add, the more people will be interested in it, and I think you'll really take off. I really feel that way.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I am very good with videos, and to post videos about how we're working. Today I post a welcome video and some pictures of the actual set because people like to see that too. But any help, any idea for content, the patrons can tell me, and I can just go ahead and put it on my schedule works of art to do. So, patrons have the power to tell me, or inspire me or giving me ideas to continue making little works of art that you can all benefit of tutorials and stuff.
Sure. Yeah, feedback is really helpful, and if you can provide what people ask for, that makes everybody happy, and that's
Yep,
really nice.
yep. You should do a Patreon page.
I've thought about it. I've thought about doing that for these live shows. Um, but I don't know. You think people would want to pay for, you know, sitting here making a mold? I don't know. Maybe.
Let me tell you, there is actually, I didn't know my husband was giving money for a Patreon page. It's a radio broadcast similar to what you're doing.
Yeah.
And, people give what they can because if they really like it, $1 here, $5 there. But it's just providing what you're doing just now. And they get a the person Julio is following is secular news
Uh huh.
and, politics. He likes to listen to politics and stuff, but that's different, and but art, maybe this will help because you're doing tutorials. This is great. It's a great tool for people who really don't know about mold making.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
You are like your own school, you know
Yeah, in a way, that's true. Well, I'll have to think about that now. Maybe.
Just give it a thought. You already have a website. You already know your work. You know how to handle this video stuff. You can do it. I mean, just try it. I mean, before you do it, the only thing that maybe you can do is try to say a launch date, like in a couple of months. So you can, like you told me, you have to research it.
Yeah, yeah, I should probably look into it. But well, I tell you what, Alba, it's been really fun, and
Woohoo!
good luck with the rest of your future with Patreon.
Thank you. Good luck to you guys. Nice hair on Patreon. One day, one might blue. I that was last year. I did my hair like that, and I loved it. I think I'm gonna do that for the Zumba convention coming up in July. I'm gonna do it again when I go to Orlando and meet with other instructors. That will be fun.
Maybe you can do like little black dots, like a peacock, like peacocks have, have like blue and all the rainbow colors. Like,
What? I like that. I like that idea.
yeah.
I'm thinking about it now. Let me see what my hairdresser says. Okay, guys, I have to go. I have to sleep.
Yeah, I need to go also. So perfect timing. All right, catch you later, Alba.
Bye bye. Love you guys, and never give up. Never give up.
All right, have a good night.
Good night.
Okay, so that was Alba, and of course that was her talk about her Patreon page. So again, actually, let me do this real quick before I go. Let's take this off. Okay, and I'm gonna close this. I'm just gonna show her Patreon page for those that have not seen it. Here it is. And to find this page, you can go to patreon.com, which is patreon.com, and it's / and it's Fantasiation, which is a little bit hard to spell, but it's FANTASIATION. So anyway, there it is, and of course, if you want to get involved with Alba and see some of her tutorials and things, this is how it looks. It's pretty cool. And it's still a work in progress. Here you can see her Julio animating on their project, and it seems pretty fun. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming by. I will see you guys all next week, and good luck with your projects.